everybody. Okay, so I'm on my property today by the creek, and so you might hear some cars go by, you might hear some neighbor dogs, you might hear my dog. So it felt like a good place to talk about this though. So a few weeks ago, I put on Instagram that I wanted to know what y'all wanted to hear me talk about, and a slew of y'all wanted to hear me talk about dating. And I really did think about it, but I'm really not quite ready for that. However, that triggered something in my mind because something that I really had to work through when it came to dating is romanticizing a relationship. I would have these conversations with these guys and they'd be like, oh, we're casual. We're just going to kind of see where things go. And I would just romanticize it, which means I would say, oh no, he really does like me. The way he looked at me, that text message means something. And I would write stories that never really existed. So then whenever they had their boundary about us just clearly not being more than what it was, I would have to catch myself and realize they had done nothing wrong. It was me romanticizing things. I've come a long way, and I don't find myself doing it quite as often. And when I do, it's just now information where I'm like, still need to work on that a little bit. But I think honestly, the best trick that's helped me stop to do that is I'm back to romanticizing my own life. So years ago, I read Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. And outside of morning pages being one of my favorite things that I once did that I'm now doing again, she talked about going on artist dates. And when I couldn't leave the house while I was taking care of Steve, I did crave that kind of like dating energy and art date energy, especially. And so I just set up all these sacred spaces within my house, beautiful flowers or having picnics or whatever in my yard, always with the little monitor so I could hear Steve. And I would have this really romantic life within myself, and I wasn't craving that kind of attention from anyone else. Well, since I moved here, it's not really been something that I do because I'm out in the world again. I do go on dates. I have freedom. Like I can leave and I live in such a picturesque place. Why do I need to set up these beautiful spaces? And actually now that I've started doing this like romanticizing my life again, I find myself less needing that kind of energy from anyone else and just like feeling very fulfilled in who I am and like the sensuality of life in general. Like everything is just so delicious and yummy when you start to romanticize it. What's stopping you from coming and having a picnic in your yard and, you know, bringing snacks, having flowers, taking time for yourself? It's really an act of appreciating what you have around you and really just leaning all the way into that. And so part of this has also started with me looking myself in the mirror and giving myself the compliments that I'm feeling like I would like some guy that I'm dating to give to me. I will say, hey, you look good today. Usually I love clothes, and so I'll pick out an outfit to evoke a certain type of energy. And I'm not doing that anymore so anyone else will say it to me. I'm doing it so I feel it. And so I'll look at myself and be like, that is sensuous. That's power. That is confidence. That looks great. That looks casual. That looks wonderful. And so like dressing is part of romanticizing my life. And accessories are part of romanticizing my life. Really just appreciating the beauty I'm around and just saying, I get to witness this. I get to experience this right now. And really allowing myself to sit in the space and not feel like I need to be experiencing it with somebody else. And just making spaces to be really sacred and special on my own. It's been a really beautiful way to find myself just really appreciating every yummy drop of life, but also feel really confident in who I am. And I think there's an interesting thing nowadays that this confidence, this pumping yourself up, this hyping yourself up, this being like, hey, you look great, like you're beautiful, you're stunning, you're talented, you're creative, you're doing a wonderful job, you have great energy, you care about people. A lot of that is sort of being misunderstood, and the internet is making it all seem like there's a bunch of narcissists running around. And as a licensed professional therapist, I would like to remind us that we should probably stop using that word so willy-nilly. And there's a difference between confidence and narcissism, and confidence would be such a beautiful thing for people to evoke. And I feel like romanticizing your life brings that in, because you're just constantly looking at what is beautiful in you already and what do you want complimented on. See it in yourself. Tell it to yourself. Take pictures when you feel good about yourself. Dress up. You know, wear the heels. Even if it's a casual place. I am forever overdressed and totally okay with it, right? Own that. Walk into your power and own it. And I think if the world was more confident, honestly, what I'm trying to teach my clients, like obviously I give them tools to help manage a lot of their feelings and anxiety and all the overwhelm that comes with life. But most importantly, I'm teaching them to be confident in themselves. Because if we can just be confident in our abilities just to handle whatever the world brings us, then we wouldn't be tripped up so much. We wouldn't freak out about things making us anxious because we would feel confident in our ability to manage the anxiety. And so I feel like romanticizing my life has bled into this too, where like I feel confident in myself. I feel confident in what I have to say. My voice is just coming out more clearly because I am now giving it space and saying, hey, you have a voice that deserves to be heard. You have a message that would help people, and speak it. You know, get it out there, girl. And yeah, I just want to remind y'all that if you are in a pattern of romanticizing other relationships and maybe feeling like you're having a lack in that area, romanticize yourself, romanticize your own life. It really opens up to like all the deliciousness just living around us. I feel so alive and so grateful, and I notice every single beautiful detail now. And I find that the more that I am in this space, the more this kind of stuff keeps coming to me. And I want that for everybody. And don't carry any shame if you get there and people look at you and think, I'm feeling a little bit jealous because I would like to be in this sensuous space. Because what we can do is live in our authentic selves and live in our dreamiest, yummiest, most alive state, and hope that that rubs off on everyone that interacts with us. And that's up to them, right? All we can do is be 100% authentic to us. What feels good to us? What would feel romantic to us? And give it to yourself. All right, this was a weird one, and it's raining on me, and the frogs are singing, and it's absolutely stunning, and I'm still gonna have a picnic until it dumps, because it might not. And I hope y'all do something really lovely and generous to yourselves and for yourselves, and if so, tell me what it is.